Hello students, here is your computer faculty Mr. Ajit Kumar Bhaduri, and we're going to start the fresh new session with a very fresh new topic, how does the CPU work? And in this case, you have to justify and understand that the performance of a person is being directed and dictated by the performance of his or her brain. Similarly, the performance of any type of electronic gadget, especially whenever it is data processing is concerned, whether it's a laptop, mobile or desktop CPU. So it is going to be dictated by the performance of the CPU, that is the central processing unit. So we have chosen this topic. So let's start and start a fresh one. Thank you. Now just to understand the importance of a CPU, I think it is better to go through the block diagram of a computer system. And if you go through the chart, you can find it out from the left to right. We are having input unit, you are having processor, we are having output unit, and you can also find out the fourth component, that is the memory part, whether it may be permanent or it may be external or it may be internal. Now if you find it out, the input unit, with help of that we get the external input. We process that data with the help of instructions of the programs, then you produce a result or the output, and whatever you think it should be required later, I can store it depending on the state of the content in a primary memory or it may be in the secondary memory. But the most important thing is actually being done with the help of CPU, because ultimately data should be converted into info, so that informations cannot be processed output otherwise if you do not have the proper central processing unit. Now let's get back to a very core component which is supposed to be very new for you. That is, we have already gone through a memory, but we have not gone through a very small bit of hidden memory which is being kept within a CPU, just to give a high speed buffer when the actual processing or the execution of programs on the data is actually happening. This is called a register, and the register is a collection of sequence of small single circuitry cell to store the data, so that on the very need of processing by ALU, it is going to keep on supporting or providing a series of high-speed data in a very quick rate. Now you can find it out a logical representation of 8-bit register. Now 8-bit stands for there are 8 different cells to store 8 different bits. Now this is the minimum requirement, so that whenever a character is being processed, a character is represented by an ASCII value in a system, and then it is again being coded into the binary digits, that mean bits. Now we need a place to store the something. Now this is the place where you can store it, so that that data can be processed. Now let's get back to some more thing about the ALU and registers. Since these are all digital components, so these are working on the binary mode with help of zeros and ones, and whenever ALU is working for processing the data, depending on the state or status of the processor, we may be having one or it may be more than one ALU, and whenever ALU is working, it is working properly with help of input register, where the data we are going to get it for, and we need an output register where the ALU gives or sends the process the data. Now actually we get back to the core idea or the core component. How does the CPU execute a program? Now actually this is being taken care by two components. One is the control unit and one is the ALU part. In the first part, control unit does the first thing. What does it do? It fetches the instructions from the memory, and based on the fetched instruction, what does it do? It decodes it and find it out what is to be done and what the data should be sent, so the program can work upon it. Now these two things are actually being combinedly called instruction time or ITAM, and this is the accountability responsibility of a control unit. Now what is going to happen next? Now if you go for it in the next part, the ALU is going to take care of it, and what they do? Now in the third step, it is actually being done. What does it stand for? The actual mathematical operations, arithmetic operations or logical operation is being performed on the data based on the program, and in the next step it produces the results and it tries to store that data, that means the output or result, either in the memory or it is being stored in the register itself, so that the output of one process can be taken as an input for the other. And the step number 3 and 4 are totally under the control of ALU. and it is called E time or execution time. Now if I combine I time and E time, then what do you get? You get a machine cycle, which is actually going to tell you about the state of a processor. Now it is better to locate a CPU within a CPU. So normally is within a CPU cabinet, you cannot directly peep inside and you cannot find out directly the processor, because it is not possible also, because the processor is being kept within a motherboard, or on the motherboard is mounted, and over the processor a cooling fan is being mounted just to make it cool during processing, because it is getting heated up. So that is the location from the top. If you find it out a cooling fan, you have to understand that below it you can find out the processor. Now please come down to the assignment part. There are 3 assignments. And the first assignment is you identify any household work and please diagrammatically represent it. There may be lots of household work which is going to get the input from somewhere, then something is being processed, and we are going to get some output. You have to identify it and you have to draw the diagram that this is household work, which is something similarly can describe a CPU, the way a CPU works. The same thing is being done over here. In the second case, we are going to find it out, better to say you are going to find it out, 3 most important or prominent chip CPU manufacturing firms, or you have to identify their products. If there are firms, then what are the chips they are manufacturing? And in the third case, you have to design a timeline for evolution of processors. That means starting from the very beginning till date 2020, what are the chips have been invented and when? I think we are already working on the online coaching class or online lessons or online activity, online teachings you are going to get. So you can find out all the info from the net, and you can design or you can draw a diagram or timeline for evolution of chip. Now the most important thing, when you want to do it, you don't have to purchase any new computer copy. You simply take out the unused pages of the last session's computer copy or any other copy. You bind it and use it, because in this time of this type of turbulent time, it's better to say this is a time for reduce, reuse and reutilize. Now thank you. I think we have enjoyed the lessons together, and I think you should be ready very prominently for the next topic. Thank you.